All right, new video. I have to get some thoughts out on the Freedom Convoy before I explode. No one in my life wants to hear this. I'm a lifelong Democrat, couldn't be further from MAGA, QAnon. I consider myself a rational, science-based person, and I support the Freedom Convoy, not unequivocally. I don't support everyone who's there. If I saw a swastika there, I'd be disgusted. I don't think it's about that. I don't think it's about QAnon or swastikas. I know that if there was a rally near me, I would join in on it. People have not taken seriously what this is about, what many people are there for. They've looked for every reason under the sun. It's every conspiracy, every bad faith interpretation, and they're just not taking seriously that people are fed up. People are fed up. And when I talk to my friends who are, not very impacted by the pandemic, who maybe got to work from home, who maybe saw gains from it, they just don't get it because of course they wouldn't get it. They've been insulated from a lot of the crap that a lot of people have had to deal with. The front page of Reddit is almost impressively exactly wrong on any given issue. There's a front page today, and I plan on uploading this video today. There's a front page post, Dear Republicans, Dear truckers, I would just like to remind you that every single Republican voted against truckers' pensions. And they think they're doing a mic drop moment. Okay, so what do Senate Republicans have to do with Canadian truckers? Americans think that our culture just maps over one to one. Of course there are a lot of Republicans there. And in a movement like this, there will always be a contingent of anti-government, of racists. Like, that will happen. And I've been to a lot of left-wing protests because I was an activist for a very long time. And you'll find a lot of communists, you'll find a lot of anarchists. Like, that happens. You don't just get to write the entire movement off. And stop trying to have these mic drop moments. Reddit posting that Trudeau radically expanding his powers to crush this instead of maybe taking it seriously. He fled the country. He talks like a robot. I despise Trump. Looking at Trudeau, you understand why people vote for people like Trump, who speak like human beings. And I know there's just this big cabal of people who just want to spend all day making fun of how Trump speaks. I think his message struck a little bit, lost the popular vote. But where it counted, his message stuck a little bit because you hear people like Trudeau. We support our truckers. What we do not support are symbols of hate, a second thing, and a third thing, period. Punctuating his, anyway. It's not an Astroturf movement. It doesn't appear to be. One data point would be that anonymous-style hackers hacked one donation site. It raised something like $8.7 million for the truckers. And what did we find out from the over 92,000 patrons? We found out that the average dollar donation was under $100, comparable with a lot of moderate political campaigns. Yes, there were some big donors. We found out that most of the money came from within Canada, contrary to a lot of media narratives. Yes, there were some big American donors. There was a tech billionaire. There's right-wing groups. There's a lot of religious groups. The average donation was under $100. The money came from within Canada. This is not what you would find. It's not what you would expect to find from an Astroturf, Koch brothers style movement. No one is hearing anybody. No one is capable of just meeting these people. And it's not just, there are these style protests in France. There are these style protests in America. People are tired. Okay? I'm tired. Why am I tired? Because someone called the cops on me for walking in a park where I was allowed to be. And the cops came by and the cops were apologetic. I'm sorry, we just have to check up. I was wearing a mask outside. People are so fearful. I was going on a walk. Are you kidding me? I'm tired of seeing hand sanitizer everywhere. COVID doesn't spread through fomites. It doesn't spread that way. Why is everyone saying, wash your hands? I wash my hands. I wash my hands because I'm a cleanly person. Not because it has anything to do with COVID, because it doesn't. Why are they telling people who don't need booster shots to get boosters? When the rest of the world has moved on, when the rest of the world is worried about vaccinating and boosting vulnerable groups, and not blanket boosting everyone against the consent or against the advice of the World Health Organization and some of the leading doctors who even work with the CDC on this. There's just there's a lot of capricious policies, abusive policies. People are fed up. I don't like where this is going. I don't like that in my state, a 4-year state of emergency was extended. I don't like the way we're treating school children because I've worked in schools through the pandemic. So people just, the last thing I want to close with is beginning versus end pandemic. I did not have these views at the beginning of the pandemic, and I'm a vaccinated Democrat. I just want to establish that. I think I'm a reasonable person. At the beginning, there was a lot of people who just said no to masks before we knew the science on masks. And I think, and some people disagree with me, I think that's selfish. I think when we knew very little in the beginning, and it wouldn't kill you to just put the mask on, right? And maybe save somebody's life. That was my beginning of the pandemic attitude. My attitude's changed now. Right now, where I am, Omicron, there's 30 cases in the county I'm in right now. Everybody's vaccinated. Mostly everybody's vaccinated. And if you want to wear a mask, you can. If you want to continue boosting, you can. But there's, no one is no one is risking your life if they decide not to wear a mask. And a lot of people's attitudes just haven't changed from the start. They've just kept these static attitudes as science has changed, as circumstances changed. They haven't changed their minds. And so now I think what the next fight is European CDC is talking about demasking kids. World Health Organization is talking about demasking kids 5 and under, and that's likely to expand with time. A lot of countries in Europe are demasking their kids. A lot of private entities where wealthy, predominantly white parents are demasking their kids. And pretty soon, a lot of people you're going to hear the drumbeat. Like, I don't want my kids masked because the science behind masking my 4-year-old is shaky. I don't want that. And so the people at the beginning who were MAGA fanatics who were saying this from the beginning, like, I didn't agree with them then. Circumstances have changed, and I don't want kids masked. And obviously there are corner cases, and obviously there's nuance, and it has to be decided. It can't just be blanketly decided, but generally, we don't need to be masking our kids. Generally. And we have to have a talk about that is taken seriously, that isn't just written off as conspiracy. People have real concerns, like masking kids, like taking a booster when they had myocarditis and they don't see the real benefit of undergoing another hit to their health as they're trying to get back on their feet, like hiking in the park without people freaking out and calling police, like being able to exercise again, attend in-person classes again, whatever it might be. People have concerns. You need to start hearing people, taking seriously what their concerns are, and not just hunkering down so you can throw tomatoes from your campsite over the wall. Jesus Christ. They should think about lifting some of these restrictions in Canada. They should think about taking this seriously. That's my thought. Thank you.